Today I am reviewing the Logitech G29 Racing Wheel and pedals. If at any time you'd like to explore this product for yourself and grab it at a great price, be sure to check the links below the video. If you are tired of playing racing games with a controller and feeling like you are just watching a car move rather than actually driving it, you have probably spent some time looking at the Logitech G29. It is the perennial middle child of the racing wheel world, sitting right between cheap, toy-like bungee cord wheels and the high-end direct drive systems that cost more than a used car. I have been putting this wheel through its paces for the last few weeks across a variety of titles, from arcade racers to serious simulations, and I have a lot to say about whether this is still the king of the entry-level market or if it is finally showing its age. If you are curious about the current pricing or want to check out some of the technical specifications I mention, you can find links to the product page right below this video. Let's start with the build quality, because this is where the G29 really earns its reputation. When you first pull it out of the box, it feels surprisingly premium. The hand-stitched leather on the wheel rim is the standout feature here. It feels like actual leather, not that sticky, cheap rubber grip you find on entry-level wheels from other brands. It provides a decent amount of friction, so even if your palms get a bit sweaty during a long session of F1 or Assetto Corsa, you are not going to lose your grip. The center hub is brushed metal, and the buttons are laid out in a way that feels very familiar if you are coming from a PlayStation controller. It is a solid, hefty piece of kit that does not feel like a toy. However, I should point out that if you are looking for that ultra-stiff, professional-grade aluminum feel, you are not going to find it here. There is still a fair amount of plastic in the housing, but it is high-quality, durable plastic that has survived years of abuse in the community, so I have no real concerns about it breaking under normal use. One of the big selling points for the G29 is the helical gear system. If you have ever used an older wheel with straight-cut gears, you know how loud and clunky they can be. Logitech uses helical gears to mimic the automotive transmission process, which significantly reduces noise and vibration. In practice, this means the wheel is relatively quiet compared to its predecessors. You will hear the internal motors humming when you are fighting through a tight chicane, but it is not going to wake up the whole house. That said, there is a trade-off. Because of the gear-driven nature of the force feedback, you will occasionally feel a slight graininess or notchiness in the steering. It is not perfectly smooth like a belt-driven or direct-drive wheel, but for the price point, it is a compromise I think most people can live with. You can check the link below to see the latest pricing, and honestly, when you compare it to wheels that cost 3 times as much, the gear-driven feedback is perfectly acceptable for 90% of players. The force feedback itself is dual motor, and it is punchy. When you hit a curb or go off-track into the gravel, you are going to feel it. It does a great job of communicating what the tires are doing, which is the most important part of any racing wheel. If you're playing a title like Gran Turismo or Project Cars, you can feel the weight of the car shifting as you take a corner. It gives you that sensory feedback that allows you to catch a slide before you spin out. However, do not expect it to rip your arms off. It is strong enough to be immersive, but it lacks the raw, neck-straining torque of high-end rigs. If you are a casual player looking to get more invested in your racing games, this is more than enough power. If you are an aspiring esports pro, you might eventually find yourself wanting more detail and higher fidelity, but that is a bridge to cross much further down the road. Let's talk about the pedals, because this is often where budget wheel packages fall apart. The G29 comes with a 3-pedal set: clutch, brake, and gas. The inclusion of a clutch is a nice touch if you plan on buying the separate shifter, though I have to say the shifter itself is a bit of a letdown. It feels a bit like a toy, but we can talk more about that later. The pedals themselves are sturdy. They have a weighted base, and if you are playing on carpet, there is a retractable grip system that actually works quite well to keep them from sliding away from you during heavy braking. The brake pedal is the real star here. It is nonlinear, meaning it gets stiffer the further down you press it. This simulates the pressure-sensitive feel of a real car's braking system. It is a massive upgrade over the simple spring-based pedals you get with cheaper wheels. Being able to modulate your braking pressure is the difference between locking up your tires and hitting the perfect apex, and this pedal set makes that learning curve much easier to manage. Now, let's get into the setup process, because this is where some people get frustrated. The G29 is a plug-and-play device for PlayStation and PC, which is great. You just plug the USB into your console or computer, connect the pedals and the power brick, and you're pretty much good to go. The software on PC is straightforward, allowing you to calibrate the rotation and tweak the force feedback settings to your liking. The 900-degree rotation is a massive feature. Being able to turn the wheel 2.5 times means you can actually drift or handle tight hairpins without the wheel hitting a hard stop halfway through your turn. It makes the driving feel authentic and precise. If you are playing on a desk, the built-in screw clamps are surprisingly effective. They hold the wheel down firmly, and I have found that as long as your desk is sturdy, you do not really need a dedicated racing rig to get a good experience. However, no product is perfect, and there are some real-world disappointments you should be aware of before you drop your money. First, the cable management. The cables coming out of the back of the wheelbase are a bit finicky. They have these little channels they are supposed to sit in, but they can be a pain to route properly, and if you are constantly moving your wheel on and off your desk, those cables are going to be a point of stress. Second, the buttons on the wheel face, while functional, feel a bit cheap. They have a hollow, clicky sound that reminds me of a generic computer mouse. They work perfectly fine, but they lack that tactile, premium feel you get with the rest of the wheel. Also, if you're planning to use this on a PC, make sure you download the G-Hub software. Some users have reported issues with the software not recognizing the wheel immediately, although I found that a simple restart usually fixes it. Again, check the links below to see if there are any current bundles that include the shifter, because buying that separately can sometimes be a bit more expensive than just getting a combo package. Another thing to consider is the intended audience. If you are a casual gamer who plays once or twice a week, this is a significant investment. You have to ask yourself if you are really going to use it enough to justify the desk space it takes up. Because it is a wheel, it is not something you can just throw in a drawer. It is going to occupy your space, and it is going to require a bit of effort to set up and tear down unless you have a dedicated space for it. If you're someone who just wants to play Need for Speed for an hour on a Friday night, a controller might be fine. But if you find yourself wanting to play sims like iRacing or Assetto Corsa Competizione, this is the absolute minimum entry point. Anything cheaper than this, and you're just buying a plastic toy that will break in 6 months. Who should avoid this wheel? If you are already a serious enthusiast who has tried direct drive wheels at a friend's house or a gaming center, you're going to find the G29 underwhelming. You will notice the gear-driven feedback, you will miss the extra torque, and you will probably end up wanting to upgrade within a few months anyway. Save your money and go straight for the higher-end options if you know you are in this for the long haul. Also, if you're a platform-specific gamer who only plays on Xbox, remember that this model is for PlayStation and PC. Logitech has a different model for Xbox, so make sure you are buying the right one for your console. It sounds obvious, but it is a mistake people make all the time. Value-wise, the G29 is in a unique spot. It has been around for a long time, which means it is often on sale. If you can find it at a discounted price, the value proposition is incredible. You are getting a reliable, well-supported, and fairly high-performance piece of hardware that has a massive community behind it. If something breaks, there are a million YouTube videos on how to fix it. If you need custom settings for a specific game, there is a forum post somewhere telling you exactly what to input. That peace of mind is worth a lot. The longevity of this product is its best feature. I know people who have been using the same G29 for 5 or 6 years, and it is still going strong. That is a testament to the design. In my testing, I spent a lot of time in Gran Turismo 7. The way the G29 communicates the road surface through the force feedback is genuinely impressive for the price. When you hit a rumble strip, the wheel vibrates in a way that feels intentional and distinct. It is not just a generic shaking effect. You can feel the texture of the track. And in PC titles, the customization is endless. You can tweak the dead zones, the sensitivity, and the force feedback curves until the steering feels exactly how you want it to. It is a hobbyist's dream in terms of adjustability. Just keep in mind that the pedals, while great, are still floor-mounted. If you do not have a way to keep them from sliding, you're going to be chasing them across your room during heavy braking. Investing in a cheap rug or a piece of non-slip matting is a must-have addition. To wrap this up, the Logitech G29 is a reliable workhorse. It is not the flashiest, it is not the strongest, and it is certainly not the newest technology on the market. But it is consistent. It provides a tactile, immersive experience that completely changes the way you play racing games. It takes the game from being a visual experience to a physical one. If you are ready to stop playing with your thumbs and start driving with your hands, this is the best place to start. It is balanced, it is durable, and it works exactly as advertised. If you have any questions, or if you want to see the current prices to compare it against other entry-level options, remember to look at the links provided below. At the end of the day, the best gear is the gear that gets you playing, and the G29 has been getting people onto the track for years. If you are looking for a solid, no-nonsense racing wheel that will last you for years, you really cannot go wrong with this one. Just be prepared to find yourself spending even more time in your racing games than you ever thought possible.